Draw in a slow, easy breath and let yourself sink into this moment. Let the noise of your day drift off into the background. There's nothing to fix right now, nothing to chase, nowhere else you need to be. For these few minutes, just let yourself exist here. Notice what's holding you up. Notice the steady rhythm of your breath. Notice the quiet awareness that you're here, alive, aware, and linked to something far bigger than anything the visible world could ever show you. As you sink further and further into stillness, start entertaining a beautiful possibility. What if everything is arranging itself in your favor? What if every event, every meeting, every delay, every unplanned turn has been carrying you towards something greater than you can currently see? What if life isn't fighting you, but carrying you? What if the obstacles that once seemed to block your path are actually the very bridges leading you where you want to go? Let this idea rest gently in your mind. You don't have to force yourself into instant belief. Just become open to the possibility. Become willing to imagine that underneath every surface appearance lies a deeper order, a hidden harmony, an unfolding that is already perfect. The outside world can look confusing sometimes, but appearances aren't the final word. What you're seeing today is often just the fruit of yesterday's assumptions, yesterday's beliefs, yesterday's emotional patterns. And if your past assumptions shaped your current reality, then your present assumptions are already shaping what's ahead. This is wonderful, because it means your power was never gone. It never lived outside you. It never belonged to circumstances, institutions, the economy, other people, or luck. The creative power has always lived inside your own awareness. The world simply reflects back whatever you consistently accept as true. So the moment you accept that everything is working in your favor, you begin sowing the seeds of a brand new reality. Picture yourself standing at the far end of an incredible journey. What you wanted has already arrived. The relationship has deepened. The financial shift has occurred. The healing has taken hold. The door has opened. The peace you longed for now fills you completely. Imagine glancing back over your life from that fulfilled vantage point. Notice how differently every hardship reads from here. What looked like a setback now reveals itself as a stepping stone. What felt like rejection now shows itself as redirection. What felt like loss now appears as preparation. Let yourself feel that shift. Feel the relief of realizing nothing was ever wasted. Every experience fed your growth. Every hard lesson deepened your faith. Every weight sharpened your desire. Every difficulty uncovered strength you didn't know you carried. And from this higher vantage point, you can finally see that life was never working against you. It was quietly arranging itself for you. Take another slow breath. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in certainty. As you breathe out, let go of doubt. There's no reason to keep wrestling with uncertainty. The future doesn't need your fear in order to show up. It doesn't need your anxiety in order to unfold. What it asks for is your willingness to live inside the feeling of the wish already granted. See yourself now as someone who already holds what they've been seeking. How does that person walk? How do they speak? How do they think? Notice their ease, their quiet confidence, their natural expectation of good things. This version of you isn't waiting around for proof. This version of you is the proof. They carry, deep inside, the settled conviction that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The world responds to states of consciousness. Feel supported often enough, and life starts reflecting support back. Feel favored often enough, and life starts reflecting favor. Feel abundant often enough, and life starts reflecting abundance. The outer world has no choice but to mirror whatever inner state you keep returning to. Let yourself release the habit now of scanning circumstances for signs that things are falling apart. Too often the mind gets stuck in observation mode. It stares at current conditions and assumes they'll last forever. It looks at temporary appearances and calls them permanent. But every manifestation starts out invisible. Every great achievement started as a single idea. Every building started as a blueprint. Every invention started in someone's imagination. Every transformation began, first, inside consciousness. Just because you can't see the movement doesn't mean nothing is moving. Beneath the surface, unseen forces are already realigning themselves. New conversations are happening. New opportunities are approaching. New paths are opening up. Events are lining up. Timing is being arranged. The unseen world organizes itself according to whatever you consistently assume to be true. Feel the peace that comes from knowing you don't have to force the outcome yourself. You don't need to manipulate every detail. You don't need to control every person involved. You don't need to understand every step in the process. Your job is much simpler than that. Your job is to stay loyal to the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. Your job is to keep returning to the conviction that what you want is already yours in consciousness. Picture yourself waking up tomorrow with total confidence that life is working in your favor. Notice how different your day feels. You smile more freely. You trust more deeply. Small inconveniences stop rattling you the way they used to. You recognize that a delay isn't a denial. You understand that a closed door is sometimes protecting you from a path that was never meant for you. You move through your day with a quiet certainty that life has your back. Feel that certainty settling in now. Let it sink into your heart. Let it move through every cell in your body. Picture a warm golden light surrounding you completely. This light represents favor, perfect timing, and endless support. It wraps around you fully. It reaches into every corner of your awareness. It reminds you that you're never alone, never left behind. As this golden glow expands, watch every area of your life lighting up beneath it. See your relationships wrapped in harmony. See your finances wrapped in abundance. See your health wrapped in vitality. See your future wrapped in limitless possibility. Watch each area grow brighter, lighter, more aligned with the highest version of what you want. There's a remarkable freedom in no longer fighting life, and instead cooperating with the deeper truth that life is actually for you. Resistance breeds tension. Trust creates flow. Resistance keeps your attention locked onto problems. Trust opens your awareness to solutions. Resistance asks, "Why is this happening to me?" Trust asks, "How is this serving my highest good?" One question breeds suffering. The other breeds transformation. Start adopting the second question now. Whatever challenge is currently sitting in your life, bring it gently into view. Don't judge it, don't push against it, simply observe it. Then imagine viewing that same situation from a future point where it's already resolved beautifully. From that future vantage point, what wisdom does this moment hold? What strength is it building in you? What opportunity might it be revealing? What gift might be hidden inside it? Let yourself see that the meaning of any event isn't fixed in stone. You have the authority to assign its meaning. You can read your experiences through fear or through faith, through scarcity or through possibility, through separation or through connection. Whatever meaning you choose shapes the reality you go on to experience. Right now, pick a new meaning. Choose to believe every event is fueling your growth. Choose to believe every step is bringing you closer to what you want. Choose to believe unseen forces are tirelessly working on your behalf. Choose to believe everything is working out in your favor. Repeat that quietly to yourself. Everything is working out in my favor. Again, everything is working out in my favor. Let those words grow into more than a sentence. Let them become a feeling. Let them become the air you breathe. Let them become the lens through which you view your whole life. The more often you return to this feeling, the more natural it becomes. The more natural it becomes, the more powerfully it shapes what you experience. Eventually, confidence replaces doubt, peace replaces worry, expectation replaces fear. and life starts to mirror the transformation that already happened inside you. You aren't waiting for your future. You're building it right now, through the states you choose to live in. You're shaping tomorrow through what you accept as true today. So accept this. Life supports you. Abundance is available to you. Love belongs to you. Success is heading your way. Every desire that lives in your heart carries within it the seed of its own fulfillment. Rest in that knowing. Breathe it in. Become one with it. Everything is working out in your favor. Even now, even here, even before your five senses can prove it to you. Let that feeling settle even deeper now. There's no rush. There's no finish line waiting for you tonight. Simply keep sinking into the awareness that what you want isn't separate from you. It's not far away. It's not stranded in some unreachable future. Every possibility already lives inside consciousness. And whatever you consistently claim as true becomes your lived experience. So if you can feel the reality of your desire right now, even just in imagination, you've already begun moving into the state where it exists. Think about how often your mind has been trained to look outside itself for permission. It waits for circumstances to improve before it lets itself feel secure. It waits for money before it feels abundant. It waits for love before it feels lovable. It waits for success before it feels confident. But here's the secret. The feeling comes first. The outer experience follows the inner assumption. The world is constantly responding to your dominant state, not your occasional wishes. This is why your real work isn't changing your circumstances. Your real work is changing your self-concept. Start seeing yourself differently. See yourself as someone favored by life. See yourself as someone who naturally attracts opportunity. See yourself as someone whose path unfolds with grace. See yourself as someone who's always guided to the right place at exactly the right time. Let these ideas become familiar. Let them start feeling normal. The more natural they become, the more powerfully they show up in your reality. Notice how different life feels once you stop bracing for disappointment. For so many people, disappointment becomes such a familiar guest that they unconsciously prepare a seat for it. They anticipate things going sideways. They picture the obstacle before they picture the opportunity. They rehearse failure long before they even attempt success. But tonight, you're letting go of that pattern. Tonight, you're choosing a different expectation altogether. You're choosing to expect good outcomes. You're choosing to expect support. You're choosing to expect small miracles. There's something remarkable about a mind that expects good. It moves through the world differently. It reads events differently. It spots possibilities that others walk right past. It recognizes opportunity hiding inside ordinary moments. It sees evidence of progress where others see only setbacks. It stays steady because it understands that a temporary appearance is not a permanent truth. Picture a river flowing easily toward the sea. It doesn't struggle to get there. It doesn't pause every few feet to question whether the ocean actually exists. It flows because flowing is simply what it does. In the same way, your desires are already flowing toward their fulfillment. There's movement happening even when you can't see it. The current is carrying you forward. Your task isn't to fight that current with fear. Your task is to relax into trust. Feel yourself growing lighter. Feel yourself setting down the weight of trying to control every little detail. You were never meant to carry the whole universe on your shoulders. You were never meant to strong-arm life into cooperating. The creative process becomes effortless the moment you understand that imagination plants the seed, and faith is what lets it grow. Now bring to mind a dream that once felt out of reach. Maybe it's something your logical mind has always doubted. Maybe it feels too big, too far away, too extraordinary. Imagine it fulfilled anyway. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the timeline. Simply feel what its completion feels like. See yourself living inside that reality. Notice where you are. Notice your surroundings. Notice the expressions on the faces of the people you love. Notice the confidence in the way you're standing. Notice the gratitude filling your chest. This isn't pretending. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the deliberate occupation of a new state of being. Your subconscious responds to feeling. It doesn't distinguish between what's physically in front of you and what's vividly imagined. Whatever it accepts as real, it works to bring into form. So every time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you're reinforcing the blueprint reality will eventually follow. Maybe there have been moments in your life when something wonderful happened out of nowhere. Maybe an opportunity showed up unannounced. Maybe someone reached out at exactly the right time. Maybe a problem resolved itself in a way you never could have engineered. Sit with those memories for a moment. They're reminders that life holds possibilities far beyond what your conscious mind can map out. So often the rational mind tries to cap what's possible, based only on what's already happened. But creation isn't bound by the past. New possibilities are born every single day. New paths reveal themselves every single day. New opportunities are created every single day. The future doesn't have to look like the past, unless you keep occupying the same state that produced it. This moment is an invitation to become someone new. Not through struggle, not through force, through assumption, through acceptance, through the quiet decision to identify with a higher version of who you are. Imagine that from this point forward, you no longer describe yourself as someone who struggles. You no longer describe yourself as unlucky. You no longer describe yourself as someone who's always stuck waiting. Instead, you start seeing yourself as someone chosen, supported, guided, blessed. Notice how different that feels. Notice the sense of expansion it creates inside you. Your self-concept works like a filter that every experience has to pass through. See yourself as worthy, and you'll recognize the opportunities around you. See yourself as valuable, and you'll draw respect toward you. See yourself as abundant, and you'll become receptive to prosperity. See yourself as loved, and you'll become magnetic to loving experiences. There's tremendous power in deciding who you are before the world has agreed with you yet. Anyone can believe after the proof shows up. The true creator believes beforehand. The true creator stays loyal to the unseen reality until it finally becomes visible. That loyalty isn't stubbornness. It's faith in the creative power that lives inside consciousness. Take a deep breath and imagine setting down every old story that no longer serves you. Set down the story of being overlooked. Set down the story of being delayed. Set down the story of being limited. Set down the story of being stuck. Those stories may have felt true once, but they were never your actual identity. They were simply old assumptions, and old assumptions can be replaced. Now imagine stepping into a brand new story. In this story, life consistently works in your favor. In this story, circumstances line up on your behalf. In this story, opportunities come find you. In this story, your desires unfold naturally and easily. In this story, you're carried by forces far greater than anything you can currently comprehend. Feel the emotional shift as you step into that new reality. Feel the relief, feel the excitement, feel the confidence, feel the certainty. Let these feelings become familiar to you, because familiarity is what breeds belief, and belief is what shapes your experience. You might notice your mind trying to drift back to old worries. That's completely natural. The mind tends to revisit familiar grooves. When it happens, gently guide your attention back to the state you've chosen. There's no need to battle negative thoughts. There's no need to fear them. Simply return, again and again, to the feeling of fulfillment. Persistence isn't about forcing belief. Persistence is about repeatedly coming back to the state you want until it becomes your default. Every time you return to the feeling that everything is working out in your favor, you reinforce a new pathway inside your consciousness. Eventually, It just becomes the way you naturally are. Picture yourself months from now, looking back on this very moment. Imagine realizing this was exactly where everything started to shift. This was the moment you stopped fighting life. This was the moment you stopped doubting your own power. This was the moment you started expecting miracles instead of obstacles. See yourself smiling as you look back. You can now see clearly how events were lining up all along. You can see clearly how opportunities were quietly taking shape. You can see clearly how the pieces were coming together the entire time. What once looked random now reveals itself as perfect orchestration. Rest in that future memory for a moment. Feel its reality, feel its certainty, feel the gratitude inside it. That future version of you, the one who already has everything you're seeking, is looking back with appreciation, knowing every single step led exactly where it needed to lead. As you keep relaxing, imagine the distance between you and your desired reality growing thinner and thinner. What once felt far away now feels close. What once felt impossible now feels within reach. What once felt uncertain now feels inevitable. The bridge between imagination and manifestation grows stronger every moment you stay loyal to the feeling of fulfillment. Let this awareness fill your whole being. Let it dissolve every last trace of doubt. Let it become the foundation beneath every thought, every expectation, every assumption you carry forward from here. Feel the quiet confidence of someone who knows unseen forces are already moving on their behalf. Feel the calm certainty of someone who knows favorable outcomes are already taking shape. Feel the deep peace of someone who knows, beyond any surface appearance, that everything is coming together in perfect harmony. As that feeling keeps settling into the deepest layers of your awareness, notice how much easier it becomes to trust once you stop measuring your progress by appearances. The outer world is always just showing you the results of past assumptions, past emotional investments, past states of being. Like looking at light from a distant star, light that may have started its journey long before this very moment. So there's no reason to get discouraged by what's currently visible. What matters is the state you're occupying right now, because that state is what's creating whatever shows up next. Feel the freedom in understanding this. You no longer have to react to every circumstance as though it holds authority over you. You no longer have to hand conditions the power to define your future. Conditions are temporary. States of consciousness are creative. The instant you understand this, you take your power back. You stop living like someone waiting for life to get better, and start living like someone generating that improvement from the inside out. Imagine walking through your day carrying a quiet secret. No one else knows it, but you do. You know that everything is shifting in your favor. You know unseen connections are being made right now. You know solutions are already finding their way to you. You know opportunities are drawing closer with every passing hour. That knowledge changes your energy. It changes the way you carry yourself. It changes what you expect. People often underestimate how much expectation shapes everything else. But expectation shapes perception, perception shapes action, and action shapes experience. Expect disappointment, and you'll unconsciously brace for it. Expect success, and you'll unconsciously align with it. Expectation itself becomes a creative force. So let yourself become someone who expects wonderful things. Expect kindness. Expect abundance. Expect guidance. Expect favorable outcomes. Expect unexpected blessings. Expect opportunities to show up in ways you never could have predicted. Expect life to keep surprising you with its generosity. There's a version of you already living this way. A version who wakes up every morning with confidence instead of worry. Who trusts the process even before every detail is visible. Who understands that a delay isn't proof of failure, but proof that something bigger might be arranging itself behind the scenes. Take a moment to connect with that version of yourself. See them clearly. Watch how they move through their day. Notice the calm in their eyes. Notice the steadiness in their voice. Notice the peace resting in their heart. They aren't constantly wondering whether things will work out. They already know. Their faith doesn't depend on evidence. Their faith produces the evidence. Now imagine stepping into that version of you. Feel yourself merging with that identity. Feel yourself taking on their confidence, their trust, their expectation of good. Let this be who you are now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. As you keep breathing slowly and deeply, notice how many times in your past life has already resolved things that once seemed impossible. Remember the times you worried for nothing. Remember circumstances that looked hopeless but somehow worked themselves out. Remember challenges that eventually cracked open into hidden opportunities. None of that was accidental. It was all a reminder, proof that there's often far more happening than your conscious mind can perceive in the moment. The visible world is only a small slice of what's real. Beneath every event runs a whole network of possibilities, connections, and quiet movements that stay hidden until the right moment finally arrives. Which means you can never truly know how close your breakthrough actually is. What if the conversation that changes everything is already on its way? What if the opportunity you've been hoping for is already forming? What if the answer to your prayer is much closer than you think? What if the very thing you want is already moving toward you at this exact moment? Let yourself feel the excitement in that possibility. Not anxious excitement, not desperate anticipation, but a calm, joyful expectation. The kind of expectation you feel when you know a package has already shipped. You don't wonder if it exists. You simply know it's on its way. Your desire isn't absent. It already exists within consciousness. The only real question is whether you'll stay loyal to its reality before it becomes visible to your senses. Every manifestation needs a stretch of time where the unseen slowly becomes seen. During that stretch, your greatest ally is persistence. Persistence doesn't mean straining. It doesn't mean obsessing. It means returning, again and again, to the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. It means refusing to let a temporary appearance dictate your state. It means choosing faith over fear, no matter what's happening around you. Picture yourself planting a seed in rich soil. You cover it gently, you water it, you tend to it. Then you walk away with total confidence. You don't hover over the dirt demanding instant results. You trust the process. You trust the quiet, invisible activity happening beneath the surface. Your assumptions work exactly the same way. Every time you step into the feeling of fulfillment, you plant another seed. Every time you choose trust over doubt, you water that seed. Every time you refuse to let appearances discourage you, you feed its growth. And eventually, what was invisible becomes visible. Take a deep breath and let this truth settle in even deeper. You aren't trying to force something into existence. You're allowing something already set in motion to unfold. The real creative act happens inside consciousness. The physical result is simply the natural outward expression of that invisible act. So when you feel the reality of your desire inside yourself, you're not just wishing, you're actively taking part in creation. Now picture your life 1 year from today. See yourself standing inside a reality that surpasses what you currently expect. Notice how much has shifted. Notice how many worries have simply disappeared. Notice how many desires have become facts. Notice how naturally it all came together. You might even laugh softly, remembering the worries you used to carry. You might smile, realizing how much energy you once spent fearing outcomes that never actually happened. You might feel a wave of gratitude, recognizing how faithfully life was guiding you, even in the moments you doubted it. Let that future version of yourself speak to you now. Listen to their voice clearly. They tell you everything worked out. They tell you the answers arrived. They tell you the opportunities appeared. They tell you circumstances changed. They tell you what once seemed impossible slowly became inevitable. Listen closely to the confidence in their voice. They're not speaking from hope, they're speaking from experience. They've already lived the future you're hoping for. They know what's coming because they're already standing in it. Feel the comfort of receiving their reassurance. Feel the certainty flowing through their words. Feel the peace of realizing you don't have to carry the weight of uncertainty any longer. That future version of you understands something important. Every manifestation begins as an internal shift. Outer results are consequences, never causes. The moment you change your inner state, the future begins changing right along with it. Let yourself absorb that wisdom. Let it become part of who you are. Let it shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you respond to whatever comes. From here forward, every challenge becomes a chance to stay loyal to the state you've chosen. Every delay becomes an invitation to trust even more deeply. Every uncertainty becomes a reminder that unseen arrangements are still quietly unfolding behind the scenes. Imagine a warm current of confidence flowing through your entire body right now. It starts at the crown of your head and moves slowly downward. As it flows, it dissolves every last trace of fear. It dissolves every habit of doubt. It dissolves every attachment to outcomes you don't want. This confidence isn't built on circumstances. It's built on awareness. It comes from knowing who you truly are. You aren't a powerless bystander watching life happen to you. You're an active participant in creation. You aren't separate from the source of all possibility. You're connected to it. You're an expression of it. You're shaping your own reality through the states you consistently choose to occupy. Feel that power inside you now, not as force, not as control, but as quiet certainty. The certainty of someone who knows imagination shapes reality. The certainty of someone who understands consciousness always comes before manifestation. The certainty of someone who realizes favorable outcomes aren't rare exceptions. They're the natural reflection of a favorable inner state. Keep resting in this awareness. Keep letting it deepen. Keep letting it replace the old patterns of thought. Keep letting it feel more natural than doubt ever did. Keep letting yourself identify with the version of you who already lives in confidence, already lives in abundance, already lives in peace, already lives in fulfillment. The version who already carries the unwavering expectation that every event, every meeting, every circumstance, every opportunity, and every passing moment is playing its part in a magnificent unfolding that's bringing you closer and closer to the realization of your highest vision. And as that awareness grows clearer and clearer within you, begin to notice how this is Neville Lectures, and I will see you in the next one.